to be fair to Lucknow, they are playing their first year and they have reached the playoffs, which is a credit to them. But still, coming to the playoffs, they have not beaten any of the other three playoff teams.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Straight Bat with Gulf News and Mr. Cricket UAE, that is Anis Sargent. We are here to discuss today's Eliminator 1, that is RCB versus the Lucknow Super Giants. Royal Challengers won the right to meet Rajasthan Royals in the next qualifier that should be on Friday. So Anis Sajan is not with us, but we will pick him up as we go along. But right now we have with a very elated RCB fan, that is Sanjay Makam, and a very crestfallen uh, a Lucknow fan, that is Vineet Krishna. Also, we have with us Satish. Satish, please take the honors and tell us what promised to be a very thrilling encounter turned out to be a damn skip towards the end.
Uh, Sham, to be honest, to be fair to Lucknow, they are playing their first year and they have reached the playoffs, which is a credit to them. But still, coming to the playoffs, they have not beaten any of the other three playoff teams. And this is the sixth loss for Lucknow, and all six were against these three teams who are in the playoffs. So to expect them to beat RCB was a bit too much, because the team was still hollow. They were dependent on a couple of individual skills like Decock or Rahul or Stoinis, and in bowling sometimes somebody or the other was clicking. So there was not a collective performance. They were somehow managing to reach the playoffs. But today, I'd love to say RCB fans must be heaving a big sigh of relief after qualifying. But I'll have to give three people credit here. Patidar for his brilliant batting, because but for his knock, RCB wouldn't have reached where they are. Harshal bowling for his brilliant bowling, despite having an injury in his bowling arm. He came and delivered, but for those two wides, which was unnecessary, bowling from round the stumps, which is okay. And the third and the most important is Asaranga, who saved at least 3/4. That was the difference between the victory and the loss today.
Yeah, especially when you consider the margin of victory, when it's just 14 runs, I think. So that would have taken the match very, very closely. Okay, Vineet. Okay, Lucknow may have lost, but I think you guys can walk out with your head high, because chasing a total of something like 207 is not easy. But yeah, till the halfway mark, I think that you guys were very much in the game until some 3 overs, with including two Hasaranga overs put in the skews. So your impressions on the match, please.
Well, first things first, when I see the Lucknow team overall, this tournament, I think, pretty pleased with them, because in their in the first season itself, they managed to reach the playoffs, when many people actually wrote them off. So pretty pleased with that. But coming to today's match, I thought maybe KL Rahul could have chosen to bat first, because I always have a feeling that every knockout match, you bat first, set the target. That's what I always feel in a knockout match. And even though it's a really good batting track, I thought maybe he missed a trick over there. And another thing I felt was maybe leaving out Jason Holder, because Jason Holder could have actually made a difference. That 207 could have maybe been something about 187, 197. If that was the case, the chase would have been a different story. But all in all, take nothing away from RCB. They actually played really well. Rajat Patidar, hats off to you, because he was pretty much a replacement for another player, and he stepped up in a pressure situation. And as Mrs. Sanjay said, Hasaranga actually saved a lot of crucial runs, which was detrimental to Lucknow's loss by that
So
margin.
Satish, I mean, Vineet made a point about the toss. Do you think the rain or the rain delay was a factor in choosing to bowl first, or that is the way Lucknow plays?
I think so, Sham. And again, second is Lucknow has a better batting than a bowling. So they might be backing the skill strengths basically. Like they will be able to chase it with Quinton de Kock, KL Rahul, you have Stein is coming in, you have Huda. All these guys, they are all in decent form, and so far they have been winning. So he must have backed the batting basically so that maybe even if Lucknow had got 220 or 230, they could have still gone ahead and lost it because of the pressure. Already the bowlers are not doing well. If you look at Ravi Bishnoi has not done anything of note this season. Same is the case with Krunal Pandya, and with the wickets more of aiding the spinners. If you look at the day before yesterday, Rashid Khan showed how much the ball is spinning. So I think that's where they lost it. So in a way, I think more than the rain, they would have backed their batting strength more than the bowling strength.
Okay, I take that. Sanjay, did you think that the RCB could pull it off today?
Yeah, like even when Faf in the toss time, he told like 50-50 decision I was taking. It was a 50-50 thought whether I was batting first or bowling first. Yes, RCB was put to batting first, and yes, Faf goes to the pavilion in the fourth over, and I was like, no, this is not the Faf du Plessis we are seeing. He's meant only for playoffs.
Sanjay, I asked that question simply because RCB has been generally up and down throughout this season. They win and lose. Lose matches which they should have won, and generally it's been patchy. So, which is why I asked the question: do you expect RCB to win? And especially given that they were struggling until that last flourish from Karthik and what's that? That 84 runs. Yes, Patidar. They put on 84 runs and 85 runs in the last 5 overs.
So yes, as I keep telling, our top order failed again today. Both Virat and Faf couldn't contribute. Virat, even though it was a slow start for him, 25 runs of 24 balls, Faf went for a golden duck, which was unfortunate for us because I expected something from Faf, because when it comes to IPL, we expect Faf to perform in playoffs. He's known for big tournaments. So yes, at some stage I expected we are going to collapse, and my par score was 155 to 170, which wasn't a good score in Eden Gardens. So I don't know from where did this Patidar land in this crease. I literally don't know. He was playing anchoring knock in between. The 6th over, he took on Krunal Pandya and he made us cross 50 runs in the power play. 16th over for Ravi Bishnoi. The way he batted, his timing, his placements were so amazing. And DK, the way he converts strike rate from 90 or 80 strike rate, he suddenly converts it to 190, 180 as he did today. We are getting back-to-back 6s and 4s. That's the reason. 92 run in the last 5 overs. Yes, a little bit concentration on the opening because Rajasthan has a power-packed bowling. Bolt is back to form. Prasid is bowling good lengths. So if our top order contributes much enough, I think we can beat RR and we can go through finals. Because
okay, we'll come to RR part of it later. Let's focus on today's match.
Shama,
welcome, Anis bhai.
Thank you. Sorry, guys, I was in a Danube event, so I got stuck.
No worries. We'll take you on board straight away. We just started only a few minutes back. So let's dive straight into it. Tell us your impressions of Patidar because he took the match away from them.
Oh, yes. You know what? He has been doing well consistently for RCB in this season. He came in as a replacement. And he has shown what he's got talent. Okay, he was dropped by Deepak Hooda, but everybody gets an opportunity. And he made it count. And his innings was the difference between the two matches. 190 and 210 was the difference of RCB winning.
Okay, so Satish, I'll just get back to you here. You see, we have seen in the past that RCB relies a lot on overseas players and their superstars. Today, between Faf, Maxwell and Kohli, they put together 34 runs. All the rest were put by little-known players. So, is there a lesson in there?
Chama, this I've been, I think a couple of times I've already said in this show.
I know, which is why I put it back to you again.
RCB always had this issue of 1 or 2 weak links that would sink that ship time and again. Whereas on the contrary, this time, basically they were relying too much on the international stars like AB or Chris Gale, or even for that matter a superstar like Kohli to shore them up, which they have been doing consistently. Whereas this year, not just this game, like there are many games where either it was Dinesh Karthik or you're looking at Shahbaz Ahmed or Patidar, Lomor, Harshal Patel. all these guys came and started doing well. And I think that this is something very similar to what Gujarat is at this point in time. Almost a lot of people have put their hands up and performed, which actually makes them even more dangerous when you look at the next game, because people like Faf and Maxwell and Kohli, they will play with much more ease, saying that yes, we failed, but still we won it. Let's play freely. So that makes it even more dangerous.
Yeah, because they will be assured that there is still a backup to come, and even
Exactly.
if they fail, there's
Exactly.
somebody to pick up the slack. All right, Vineet, let's say it's not all gloom and doom for you. Today was again Mohsin Khan's another dream spell. He's been one of the revelations of this. 3 seasons in the Mumbai Indians bench. He is completely a transformed man. Tell us about him.
Uh, I feel probably those 3 seasons, in Mumbai Indians might have actually helped him to learn some things, because he had a lot of players around him in Mumbai Indians, players like Trent Bolt, Jasprit Bumrah, Lasith Malika. He might have learned a bit, training with those people. And I think that's what we're actually seeing in this season for Lucknow. When everyone else has actually been belted for runs, Mohsin Khan has been the standout bowler in the last 4 or 5 matches, at least for Lucknow.
Vineet, I have a small question. Sorry,
Yes.
in case if you are finished.
Good.
Even Krunal Pandya was in the same Mumbai team for the last 3 years or 4 years. Why he
Again.
didn't learn, whereas Mohsin Khan has learned it?
I mean, different players learn differently. So, there's always that. But I think, Mohsin Khan has pretty much been that standout young player. Like this season, almost every team has had that standout young player. Like in RCB, we've seen Rajat Patidar today. In Gujarat, we saw Yes Dayal. Like again, in LSG, we saw Mohsin Khan. Like that, Mumbai also Tilak Varma, like that all the young players this season have
My
stepped up.
question was just about learning experience. If Mumbai is going to be such a learning experience, how one person learned the other person didn't? That was my question.
Yeah,
That's
okay. Let me jump to Vinny's defense here. See, he he could have warmed the bench, but he had the best of facilities. He's got the best of coaches, everything around him. So when you're not playing, there's less pressure on you.
Correct.
So probably if you're a willing learner, you can really hone the skills, which is perhaps what's happened in Mohsin's case. Anyway, good for him. Let's move on. And it's one of the bowlers we've been keenly watching this season has been Mohammed Siraj. We've seen that how he rose through the ranks in IPL and reached the Indian team now. But this has been a very atrocious season for him. It's been pretty up and down. Today was another of his bad performances. Give us an assessment of him, please.
Well, I'm afraid, what, as much as I like him, I like Siraj's aggression in Test cricket, but there's Test cricket and the white ball cricket, especially the T20 format, is a totally different format. He needs to, be very, very, different from what he bowls in Test cricket. Like he needs to alter his length. His length is a problem. And sometimes he also loses his line. And there is a thin line, I've always said, between temperament and talent. He's got talent, but I'm afraid he lacks the temperament in the short ball format. It's been now not 1 year, 2 years. He's been playing for RCB for long and he's been leaking runs. I don't know. 10 runs is very common for Siraj. I hope it gets better because he's young, he's dynamic. I only hope. Now, my only problem is his feet is not on ground. Off late, he's tasted success in the Test cricket and I feel his feet is in the air.
All right, I really hope that he gets better because he is such a good swing bowler and India could use him and his aggression, hopefully he tempers it. Yes, coming back to Sanjay, good performances from the bowlers. Hasaranga, despite going for runs in the last 2 overs, he actually put the screws with a 2-over spell, which is considered 10 runs. Harshal in the first spell came over 2 overs, 8 runs. And Shahbaz came away with 4 overs with 34 runs. That actually throttled Lucknow. So bowling has been one of the reasons why what RCB has turned the campaign around. Do you agree there?
Yes, this season, to tell when you compare to the previous season, this season we have an improved bowling attack. Like not just exclude the 4 over 64 run, which was considered by Josh as well. Apart from that, even Josh was a good attack in the pace. Even he was doing well in the death and he was doing well in the power play. And yes, Hasaranga has been good. This today, 2 overs, 10 runs, and he has saved many boundaries while he was fielding. And yes, and then the last 2 overs where Huda and Stoinis took him for 18 runs in 1 over, that made a difference. But I think that crucial wicket of Huda where Hasaranga just tempted him again, and he made him went for the shot, and it was bowled. And yes, a credit to Josh Hazlewood, even though he was expensive, picking KL Rahul is what I think it was RCB's way. If Rahul was there, I think some wonders would have happened from his side, because he started taking the balls after he scored 50 runs. So getting the wicket of Rahul by Josh Hazlewood and back-to-back wickets like Krunal Pandya, someone like Krunal Pandya is also dangerous, because on the first outing he scored 42 runs of just 20 odd balls against us. So when you see a player like Chamira can smack Harshal Patel, why can't Krunal Pandya smack? So keeping that in mind, those two ball, 2 wickets by Josh Hazlewood and the 17th over by Siraj, where I thought he might concede more than 15 runs or 16 runs. He just restricted to 10 runs and with the 3 dot balls. So that made an impact in 17. The 17th over made impact for RCB, I guess.
But the 10 runs saved by Hasaranga in the field, that 1-6 he saved and 1 boundary in the second lap, you can't forget that. That small thing make a big difference.
True.
That 6 was something magical.
No, that save on the boundary line was phenomenal. But having said that, Satish, this is on the question of fielding. Okay, we saw some good fielding from RCB, but the same cannot be said about Lucknow. We saw quite a few drop catches, and drop catches has been the theme of this IPL. Can you explain that?
Sham, please, I can't explain this because I don't understand. These guys, they take catches day in and day out, and they are fit. And some of the catches are so easy. It really beats me how they keep dropping catches. And the sad part is, Sham, this as much as this IPL was so close and so entertaining, I see a lot of elementary mistakes coming from these professional players, even including RCB. When you look at the way they bowled, the number of wides they gave away when they were actually on top, that gave our Lucknow the chance to come closer. Otherwise, they could have sealed the match then and there. So I would say the basics have fallen way below the standards that we expect from IPL, especially the catching. And of course, some of the fielding by some teams as well. So it's seriously, that's a big letdown this year from the IPL perspective, because we have seen some very good catches, yes, but we have seen more drop catches than good ones.
All right. Going from here, what is Anis? What can RCB take into their match against Rajasthan Royals?
Well, they are going to play a much tougher team. As much as LSG was there, but RCB will have a challenge from RR. I remember the first game, 145, and they, I think, won the second game against them, if I'm not wrong. But having said that, RR will be a difficult proposition. We'll have to see how Josh Butler comes about, even though he scored a little scratchy innings. In the end, he made it up. So, and again, today I would say the wicket of Virat Kohli was a blessing in disguise for RCB, because the way he was batting, he looked very anxious, very edgy, and he ended up eating up a lot of balls. If RCB has to win again, it's going to be a fresh wicket. They need a decent score to defend, because they're depending heavily on Harshal Patel.
Very true. Okay, now we go before we wind up. Anis, tell us about the competition.
Oh yeah, we have a wonderful competition every day on Gulf News where you have to predict the winner. I know it's very difficult. I knew the team chasing is going to win today, but I'm afraid it went the other way. RCB won. So you go and predict on your favorite page, Gulf News. You win an apparel kit and a year's digital subscription.
Yesterday, 3 of us predict today's winner, right? Three against one.
But,
3 of us got it
but
right.
I was really worried, Cham.
Okay, let's see whether we'll get that right on the Friday. Friday, RCB meets Rajasthan Royals. Vineet, who do you think will win and why?
RCB have actually peaked at the right time, and plus they're also getting a bit of luck as an extra factor. So I'm going to back RCB to go all the way.
Sanjay, do you agree there?
I don't know about what the luck is telling us. I think we can take over Rajasthan just by telling the last two matches. If you see their key bowlers' performance, Ravichandran Ashwin and Rizwendra Chahal, they have been little expensive. Though Chahal is economical, you can't find him taking wickets. All of the batsmen are playing out Chahal and Butler. Yes, he's struggling a lot in the second half in the first 6 overs. So I think someone like Siraj. Only Siraj can get Butler in the purple because Siraj has the ability to swing the ball. Hope he finds his form back. We saw him last year taking Butler in UAE, the way he swung the ball onto the pads, the LBW call. So somewhere, yes. And as Anisar told, hope Virat Kohli and Faf finds their form. So a good wicket to bat on Ahmedabad is a batting friendly pitch. I don't know which pitch they play. Whatever we saw in the last match of the international T20, it's a batting friendly pitch and it favors spin a lot. So hope I think Hasaranga overtakes Chahal at least. He's 1 wicket behind 25. So at least for my happiness, we take on Rajasthan and we beat them.
I'm sorry. Actually, why I mentioned the luck factor earlier is because in previous seasons, RCB have been on the receiving end of luck. But this time, I'm not saying, they're a bad team and all, but, at times, they've been on the receiving end of luck. So this time, they have, things have been favorable to him. And, somewhere deep down in my mind, I would love to see Virat Kohli lifting the IPL. So that's why, somewhere, I feel like RCB might actually take it, even though earlier I might have predicted LSG.
Vinny, you seem to sound like a Bangalore fan rather than a Lucknow fan.
No, I mean, everyone's a fan of Virat Kohli. That's there.
Right. Satish, again, Sanjay makes a good point about Ahmedabad wicket because this is a wicket which we have not seen in this IPL. How do you expect it to behave and who will win?
It's going to be a fresh wicket anyway. So I would say it will be a nice wicket to bat on. And to me, I would favor RCB for the simple reason. Last time I saw Butler's downfall started with the RCB, if I see it right. And he was very uncomfortable against facing the Hazelwood. Literally, Hazelwood psyched him out in that game. And that's where Butler's downfall started. So I would say that Hazelwood probably again get Butler. And once Butler goes, RR is still not the team that they would be when he is on song. So in that sense, I would say it's RCB because spin-wise, both teams have some good spinners, Hasaranga and Shahbaz as well. Whereas their Chahal and Ashwin, both of them could. So the spin-wise, bowling-wise, they are equal. But I would say the batting is going to be the difference. And here, RCB has got a better edge there. And if Kohli or Faf gets going, then or Maxwell for that matter, even. They have 3 dangers for RR, whereas only Butler is there, apart from Sanju, who will start. You can start Sanju with the 40 runs, and maybe you can end it there.
Yeah, consistency issue.
So Anis is the only one for backing Rajasthan. You 3 guys are backing.
No, I'm backing RCB. I'm backing RCB. Not for anything else.
All of you are on RCB.
You know what? Today also, apart from the teams and the fans of Bangalore, the whole Eden Gardens wanted RCB to win. That's the peak of Virat Kohli. I know he's not been doing well, but everybody wants to see Virat Kohli in the final. Okay, they might support home team Gujarat in the final, but this match they will definitely want RCB to go through.
Yeah, because there was a huge roar going up the Eden Gardens every time a wicket fell. Yes. You're bang on. And all 4 of you are RCB. So for me, when RCB plays, whoever is a team, my cricketing logic goes out of the window. I just back RCB. so all 4 of us are backing RCB. They make their all 5 of us are backing. So if RCB enter the final, that would be their 4th time. Let's see whether they'll become 4th time lucky if they make the finals. Certainly. So we'll find out that on Friday. So
we'll see whether Sanjay is laughing or whether he's not. I'm sure he'll be laughing.
I hope he has the final laugh on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
So thank you guys. Thank you for joining us on this show. Thank you to all our listeners and viewers for tuning in. And for the latest updates and developments, please log on to gulfnews.com and all our social media channels. And we will see you again on Friday. Thank you very much. Good night.